Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. I know Patriots fans, you're not happy. It was a great first NFL weekend. I mean, it kicked off Thursday, but the Sunday games were the official start. Patriots did not have a good one. I watched the whole thing. I did all my fantasy football. Hope all of you that do your fantasy stuff, that you had a good week and all your betting. I do daily fantasy as well, so that we can say for another YouTube show because it's Red Sox Now presented by FanArch. I'm Mike Antonellis. I was with the Woo Sox all weekend. Interesting weather games, doubleheader, and we'll get to some things, of course, and we'll get to your comments at the end. You see the sidebar, and we'll go over some things. But first, we need you to subscribe. I know you have been. I know a lot of you said I have subscribed. I am leaving comments. I know. We know, but we're getting in a good spot right now. Where we're getting close to, let's see, 1,740 subscribers, or 45. Getting close to 1,800, and want that magic number of 3,000 on the Red Sox last game of the season. Not regular season, playoffs, because they'll be in the playoffs. They have a 5-game lead. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social at The Radio Mike. Wow, was that a grind? Sunday grind in Arizona. First 2 games were not good. Red Sox really struggled. It's this time of year. I know. We've got to turn the page. You won yesterday. You avoided a sweep. I thought NESN did a fantastic job covering they really did a good job painting a picture of the mood. And what I liked what they did was they kept showing Alex Cora doing a lot of things. Pre-game, he unwrapped a Rice Krispie treat, which are fantastic, by the way. My mom used to make them. Oh, she still could, but, I'm older. I should be able to do that. But the Wally head, he put a Rice Krispie. He was feeding Wally. That's why we've talked about this before, a lot of you get hung up on X's and O's by managers and stuff. And if they put a guy in there and it doesn't work, you blame the manager instead of the player. Because that's where we're at. In this day and age, we don't blame players for everything. Sports radio will be blaming Josh McDaniels for the whole Patriots loss. Won't be any of the players' fault. Won't be the head coach's fault. But it's those things of managing the team that I've talked about. And we'll get to more of this in just a few minutes. But I liked how they covered it. So somebody shot that before the game. They saw him doing that, feeding the wall he had. And then he was sitting with the players. Instead of, at the end of the dugout, he was trying to keep the guys loose because he knows they were tense. He knew guys were tensing up. And he was smiling, laughing, and it made them relax. I'm not saying that's why they won, but those are special moments yesterday that NESN covered. And those are big deals. You want managers throwing stuff and all that. Like, that stuff doesn't work in the big leagues. And this was a game that they were down 3-1. And that 7th inning was absolutely wacky. It was absolutely wacky. What does it prove? They put the ball in play, right? It was started on a hit by pitch. Trevor Story should have been picked off. The first baseman, all he has to do is get rid of the ball right away. Story's running to second. And he waited and waited and waited, and he threw the ball too high. And I'm thinking, oh, geez, he's getting picked off. That could have been the game. And you got a big hit from David Hamilton, and then Connor Wong put the ball in play. Excuse me. And a throwing error. A throwing error got you to a lead, and then they tie the game against Zach Kelly. It's like, here we go again. But that 9th inning, Nick Sogard and you got to give Cora credit. He made a lot of good moves in that game yesterday, right? They don't always work out, but this is why he wanted to carry an extra catcher, so he can pinch hit and use Narvaez late. So you can hit for Wong, and then you can have Narvaez hit, and you still have a third catcher. But Sogard coming off the bench with a huge double, that was big. And then Narvaez with the pinch hit, another hit off the bench for him, going to right field. I love his approach in big spots. And then they were able to hand the ball off to you-know-who, of course. And that sealed the deal. But what a grind-out win. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I know people are down, but just think about where you were last September at this point. You're going to have postseason baseball. You have a 5-game lead over Texas. I'm not worried about them with 18 games left. I'm not. It's not overconfidence. It's not being a homer. It's just you got Crochet, you got Bayo. I know Giolito's been off. I understand 4 and 5. I get it. But they're going to make some changes. 79 wins. You're 14 over. You have one of the best records in the American League. Yankees are a game and a half ahead of you, yeah, but you're still 3.5 out of the division. And you got the Yankees, you got Toronto. Now you got to take care of business. Big perspective. We overdo we lost 2 of 3 to Arizona. That's not a horrible team you played, by the way. And you know what's weird about the Diamondbacks? Just them losing Corbin Burns kind of ruined their season. They lost their ace. And they lost Gurriel. It's over and over with teams that we see. But think about where they would be without losing Burns. I don't think the Red Sox, if they lost Crochet, would be at 500 like Arizona. And Arizona has won 8 of 11. They've been a good team in the they've been one of the hottest teams in the National League and in baseball. But that's a confusing team because Burns, Gurriel, AJ Puck, they have some other injuries with pitching. 500 club, they might be in the wild card if they hadn't lost Burns, and that made them trade Merrill Kelly and sell. So you got out of there. I look at it like this. You go to Sacramento, and you take 2 of 3 there. Now this team can hit, and you come back at 500 on the road trip. That's what you strive for. Come back. That's the goal, 81 and 66, if you can come back home. So you're 14 over. You still have a very good lead in the wild card. Cleveland swept Tampa Bay. Now Tampa Bay is 4 back, but they're so far behind everybody. Everyone is jumping around. But that was a good one. I thought it showed a lot yesterday. That kind of win. They're grinding through the season. It's a lot of travel. They want to get to the postseason. And they found a way to win a game that was, man, it was the ultimate grind. I mean, they really did. But good stuff. And congrats, Alex Cora. I thought he made all the right moves again. Gets his 600th win in Red Sox history. But just to go back what I talked about before, I liked how Nesson carried that, how they showed Alex Cora really trying to keep the guys loose. And I know this for a fact. I mean, the players absolutely love playing for him. And you have to have that in the big leagues. You have to. I mean, that's a staple. If you don't have it, it's certainly not easy. How about this guy? It's insane what's going on right now. He lowered his ERA to .98. We talk more about Jordan Hicks being bad than we will. Like tomorrow, I see more tweets in nonsense after Jordan Hicks, which I get. But let's put more into, you're seeing one of the best relief seasons in the history of the game, not just the Red Sox. But it'll be crickets pretty much on social media because we're just, I get it. I get it. We're into the, rock the boats. But I know a lot of you guys and gals, you do understand what kind of year, but this is ridiculous what he is doing. And the lowest ERA by a Red Sox reliever is .92 by Jonathan Papelbon. He has 17 consecutive hitless appearances. He struck out 4. And the last time that happened for a Red Sox pitcher was May 25th, 2017. Craig Kimbrell. Red Sox have had some really good closers. Only two pitchers in Red Sox history to strike out 4 in a single year, in a single inning. Was there any hesitation that he was not going to get the job done? No. I was surprised to see Zach Kelly in the game. Stuff was okay, but wasn't sharp. He had, he pitched 4 innings on the third. 3 days off. I didn't love that part. Again, so, but they had to use Weiser. They were short. And I don't know if Alex Cora in a perfect world wanted to do that. Maybe if Bayo had his pitches, he could have maybe gone 1 inning. I get it. But again, this is a really tough time of season. And I know this from working in baseball for 30 years and how they have to manage guys. It's a weird line of winning and doing the right thing because you want guys healthy. You don't want guys getting smoked during the regular season and then cost you a chance at the postseason because you really are confident right now. Could he have gone out there another inning? Maybe. But I get it. I thought he was really good. I thought Bayo was really good. I know he gave up 3 runs, but I thought the stuff was really good. But, again, doesn't matter. You got through it. Whitlock looked fantastic, inning and 2/3. Your bullpen finished with 2 2/3 hitless and 5 strikeouts. That's why I like this Red Sox team in a playoff spot because those 2 guys at the end are really damn good. And it's not, if you look over the years, not every single playoff team has 4 or 5 lockdown relievers. I still like Weiser. I still think he's done some good things. And Matz. But you have 2 really good ones there. And Slayton, too. I know he had a rough one the other night, but he's still coming back. But, he's not going to be... The 8th inning's not his. I think originally it was, but it's not going to... It's Whitlock's. And we get to the postseason, everything is completely, completely different. There are a lot of guys pitching right now, playing right now that won't be part of that postseason. It's just the way it is. But this dominance from Chapman has been just absolutely amazing. So the Red Sox grinded out 7-4. They got 2 hits from Trevor Story. What more can we say about him? 2 more hits, 25 doubles, 27 for 27 in steals, 89 RBIs. I'd love for him to get to 100. Romy Gonzalez extended his hitting streak. He's hitting over 300, 307. I mean, just unbelievable. I mean, that's really good. Duran had a tough game. Made some nice catches in the outfield. Bregman was over. Again, one thing that has been consistent. It is an extreme team, right? Raphael is fighting it. Bregman's fighting it. Duran at times fighting it. Yoshida a little bit. I thought he had better at-bats this weekend. But, Rafaela, and it's like this with him and with a few guys on the team. And that you don't want that. You need more consistency. I thought his at-bat, this is what I tweeted this too. He came up with in a key spot. Was it a runner at third? And it just seemed like he gave the way the at-bat. He was just too aggressive. Oh, there was a runner at third and 1 out after the Hamilton hit. And the at-bat was so aggressive. And that's just where he has to try to shorten up more. He's just, and I know that's him, but I think at some point the development for him needs to get a little bit better where he is seeing more pitches. Like he hasn't walked, I think, in 73 at-bats. That's a little crazy. All right, let's get to your comments. We had good ones because I wore the Framingham State shirt where I was talking about Framingham State, and a lot of you chimed in where you're from, where you went to school. It was really cool. And keep doing that. So we're going to do that at THIENVU8120. I'm in Vietnam. ThienView 8120. That's what we call it. But raised on Cape Cod. Thank you for checking in on the show. Really appreciate it. As we get to your comments from Friday. This is another comment. SN 500-N4V. I saw the 6th-ranked prospect pitch for the Woo Sox. He looked great. Can't remember his name. It was Connolly Early. SN 500. That's like a Terminator, one of the Terminators. Yeah, he was impressive. Here's a little scoop on that. He was supposed to pitch Game 2. Our doubleheader, by the way, was delayed an hour. Started at 2. And then Game 2 started at 5:30, finished almost at 8. Early was scheduled to pitch. Game 2 was scratched. So Harrison pitched 1 inning in Game 1. Didn't look great. Just 1 inning. So it's almost like they're making a decision. So I think Connolly Early could be someone that gets a call up and starts because they don't want Tolley going Wednesday. They want more rest from him. So I think Early could be the guy that gets the start. Chad Hamilton -T3M. Live in South Georgia. Grandmother was from Boston. Grew up watching the Sox at her place and been a fan 40-plus years. I hope they re-sign Bregman. Same. Good professional hitter and awesome glove. Yeah, and so much more. Thanks for checking in from South Georgia. Did you watch is it the team that Wally Backman managed in the Indy Ball? South Georgia Peanuts. I know Wally. When I was in Portland, he was a manager in Binghamton, and when we go there, I would go in his office a lot after games because I was friends with the radio guy from the other team, and we'd go out with Wally. Wally had unbelievable stories, some I can't talk about. But just Google Wally Backman, South Georgia Peanuts, and brace yourself because I think he was there 2 seasons. They mic'd him up and had a camera on him, and he is a maniac. There is some unbelievable stuff. You got to watch it. It's great. I love it. Tirades, screaming at umpires. It's really good though. That's in South Albany, Georgia, I believe. That South Georgia team. Okay. Thank you, Chad. Brent Bell, 7235. When I look at the Sox roster and how many pitchers are on the 60-day IL, there's not enough spaces for all of them in the offseason. Yep. So we're going to lose. Who are we going to lose in the Rule 5 because there are 40-man spots to protect? Sandlin, Uberstein, or Drowan. I know they will not make the Sox roster, but rather trade them for us losing to Rule. Yeah, I think you'll protect Sandlin. I don't see the other guys getting protected. I like Uberstein. I just don't see it. There were a couple of scouts at Polar Park over the weekend. One from the Angels. One from, not the Twins, Baltimore maybe. I talked to the guy from the Angels because I said, it's really weird. It's Red Sox, Yankees, AAA affiliates. Angels are out of it. So I assumed, and I said to him, I go, are you here scouting players that won't be protected, that are Rule 5 eligible? And he said yes, and 6-year free agents. So 6-year free agents, you have control of a guy so long, and then they have so they know which guys will be minor league free agents that they'll sign. But yeah, so scouts are looking at, to your question, and Uberstein pitched one of those games, and Sandlin as well. To Rule 5 a guy like in the big league phase, you got like a lot of us we focus on our guys. You got to be, 3-4 pitch starter. I don't see Sandlin they could protect. He's just not taking to the relief role. So we'll see. They might not protect any of them. But right now Sandlin was figured to be an option. That was the plan. They wanted him to be an option for the Red Sox bullpen, but it's not working right now. They talked about how before he knew when he was going to pitch because they mapped out a thing, and now he doesn't know. But it's still a work in progress. So, and that's how it goes with guys. One last stat on Chapman: last 29 games, a .34 ERA, 5 hits, 40 strikeouts, and that's the last 30. Excuse me. And the lone run is a homer by JT Realmuto. Thanks for watching on this Monday. Hope you have a great start to the day. I know Mondays are not for everybody. I certainly get it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. And make sure to follow me at the Radio Mike. Sox in Sacramento tonight against the A's. We'll talk all about it on Tuesday. Go Sox.